it's Mike, and in this Growth Engine pit stop, I want to talk about why I love LinkedIn and the social platform, business social platform LinkedIn. The reason being is that in today's world, you know, we talk about audience reach and how you can best get your message from a marketing point of view or a sales point of view into the hands of your ideal target audience, which is a holy grail for everybody. If you can get the right, you know, message to the right market through the right medium, you know, bingo. You know, there's a great saying by Dan Kennedy, something around that you know, market, message, media. Big advocate of that type of stuff, and sort of why I love LinkedIn. And before I go any further on that one, I want to say that if you go over to our sort of Growth Engine channel on YouTube, I've done a free video. It's like a 15-20 minute deep dive on like how you can implement a LinkedIn sort of lead generation strategy without spending a cent on advertising. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are offering courses on this subject at the moment. This is why I wanted to put it out totally free. I've got no issue with the people who are doing this, and they may have a different secret sauce than I have. And that's absolutely fine. And you know, if you want to go through there, opt in and sign up for free training and then get pitched at the end, that's, you know, entirely up to you. You're more than welcome. And as I said, there's some good people out there doing some good stuff, so you know, all credit to those. But what I'm going to do, there's no opt-in, and I'm going to share with you in this sort of Growth Engine pit stop video what the strategy is. I'd highly recommend then you jump over to, as I say, if you just go to YouTube and search The Success or The Open Mic or Growth Engine, you'll find, you know, our channel on there. So I'm going to cover this in this short, you know, overview, and then jump over to that video and check that out. In fact, what we'll probably do, if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll put a link into that video for ease of finding it, and if you're watching it on social, again, we'll put a link into the post so you can get both videos. So you can watch this one and you can get the other one. So here's why I love LinkedIn. I mentioned earlier the older way of doing it, you know, whether you would do press advertising, email marketing, you'd have a list, or you know, you'd go to market. And you know, how many times did telecampuses make a living out of bringing up and saying, you know, hey, you know, who would be the best person to speak to about X? You know, whatever X is, finance, sales, marketing, selling water machines, you know, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Well, if you want to invest in Sales Navigator, and you know, I'm not an affiliate for LinkedIn, I don't make any money out of it outside of the money we make out of his own business and the revenue. But if you want to go and invest in Sales Navigator, we're on Sales Navigator Team version because it links into our HubSpot CRM system, and it's about £83 a month. So you know, it's a chunk of change for sure. But they do a LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I think it's about £57 a month or something like that. And then what I'm going to say to you, the simple truth is here, for that investment, whether it's the, you know, just shy of £60 a month or just north of £80 a month, for that investment, which is, you know, roughly £700 to £1,000 a year, every single one of your B2B customers are there, and you can find them. You just need the right strategy behind it. This is what I'm going to share. So on Sales Navigator, you've got an ability. For example, we're running an automotive campaign in our marketing agency at the moment, and we're targeting head of businesses. So head of business, the person who runs the dealership, is in charge of the overarching, you know, performance of it. So, you know, our admin team go on to Sales Navigator, and the research that we do, we look at the automotive top 200 motor dealers. We go on and pull those lists off, and you know, we'll pick one out that I think everybody will have heard of, Stratstone, which is part of the Pendragon Group, or JCT 600 up here in the north, you know, Perry's on a more global basis, you know, and Evans Allshore and Sitner Group and people like that. You know what I'm talking about, those type of car dealers, great businesses who you know, the top 200 dealers in the UK. Now the top one, Sitner Group's over 5.4 billion in revenue, and that's billion in revenue. You know, I'm not quite sure how many hundreds of dealers we've got these days, but ultimately you get that idea. So we can go to LinkedIn, we can put in, okay, give me every head of business for every dealership, and it's going to give me a list which I can save. And then obviously I've got a targeted outreach strategy, so I'm going to give you a quick overview here, and then I'll go more in the deep dive later. So gone are the days of ringing up and trying to find who's who. You can literally search it by company, search it by job title, search it by geographical area. You can tag them for safe searches, simplicity. And then if and I'm not talking about spamming people here. I'm not talking about connecting with people and then pitching them. That is absolutely disgraceful. And anybody who does that with me, I'll warn you now. You connect with me and then you pitch me straight away, I'm going to disconnect with you and I'm going to tell you why. And that ain't very polite, let me tell you. I hate that. But with a targeted campaign, if you've got value and you're respectful of that person's privacy, we're getting a connection rate with this strategy, roughly around 60 to 65%. And we're refining that all the time, and that's getting better. But for every 10 people, we ask to connect with six to seven people that are actually connecting with us. So you get an idea there. That's a fairly high connection rate. So here's the quick overview strategy, but please do jump over to the deep dive to watch the deeper training. As I say, you can go and opt in for these other people's funnels, give your email address away, and you can probably learn more than you're going to learn off me or the deep dive training. As I say, if that's what you want to do, good luck. But here's the basics of it, where you could increase your leads, you can increase more targeted engagement, you can get your reach up for your audience, and you can do all that totally free outside of what your LinkedIn Sales Navigator subscription would cost you. So here it is. So we have a 377-day strategy. So it looks something like this. So we go and pick out an audience that we know we can help. We've already done that research. So I gave an example earlier about the heads of business in automotive. We create a listing Sales Navigator and we write specific copy. In my example, I spent over 25 years in the automotive and finance and leasing business. So I put a message out something along the lines of, hey, whatever your name is, I've spent over 25 years in the automotive and finance leasing industry. Look, I'm looking to connect with heads of businesses, thought leaders, admins in my professional network. I'd be appreciative if you join. Something like that. And as I say, I'll cover more on the copy in the deep dive training. So automatically the person they know I'm connecting with, they know I'm one of those, and I'm one of them. I've been in that marketplace. So if you're currently a builder and you wanting to move into brain surgery, that's probably not going to work. So do what you're good at, do what you know is the first big tip. Once they then connect, that's what we call day one. So when they connect is day one. When we send the invitation, it's day 0. So day 1, and then we send them a thank you message within 24 hours saying, hey, X, we really appreciate you connecting, thanks ever so much. If we could ever help in any way without obligation, please feel free to reach out to me. In the interim, here's a free resource that I might find you interested in. And we put a free resource that's linked to a LinkedIn Pulse article, so it keeps them on the platform. We're not diverting them out into Facebook or blogs or YouTube. We keep it on LinkedIn where they're enjoying their time, and we give them a free article that's related to their business. 13 days later, apologies, we then update HubSpot. If you've got a CRM, it could be Infusionsoft, it could be Act or Sage or whatever database you're using these days, or whatever your Pipedrive or whatever it would be. And we update that and then task it for 13 days later. 13 days later, we send them another free resource, which is, hey, we recently connected with you, and we hope you enjoyed that last resource. Okay, I've just recently written this article, and I thought you also might find this of interest. And there's no pitch here, we're not selling a dime or anything. And then out that goes at day 13. And then at day 34, and for those who are watching this, there's a link to Fibonacci Sequence here. If you're not quite sure of Fibonacci, just search Fibonacci, Fibonacci on Google. It's a sequence of extended periods of time, so you're not just pestering people, you're spreading out the time. So we're using Fibonacci Sequence here as well. Then at day 34, we actually send them another free resource. But 3 days later, we actually schedule a call to give them a call, and that call then is something goes, along the lines of, "Hey Eggs, we've recently connected, and I just wondered if I could get some feedback on the resources that we sent you. Did you find them interesting? Is there anything we can help you with?" And get that warmer chat. And ultimately, what we're actually saying is, that, you know, over a 34-day period, yes, we've targeted them as a potential customer. Nothing wrong with that. We all do that. You know, let's be clear. We've put significant levels of value in over 3 separate pieces, and then we've made a call. And our call connect strategy, you know, I appreciate people are busy, especially in car dealerships, but we're getting to speak to around 40% of the people, which, you know, we think is pretty good for that cold, well, semi-warm, semi-cold outreach. You know, and, you know, so we're getting about 40% call connect, and from there, you know, the meetings, you know, the interest, the demos, the software demos that we do for dealers, you know, we're way above industry average, you know, probably about 28%, 30% give or take. So we're pretty pleased with this link strategy. Now, if for any reason we don't connect with the prospect at day 34 on Messenger and day 37 on the call, then, you know, that runs down to day 55, day 89, day 150, and then I think it jumps to something like about day 230, and then 280, and then day 377. And each time we send a message with a valuable free resource that's related to helping them do their job better, which is totally free. In the later ones, we put a calendar link in, so there's a, hey, if you'd ever like to set up a call and learn more about this, then you can click here and book a call. So that's the summary of it, which looks something like, sorry, I've just got a motorbike here, and if you're a motorbiker, I apologise, but this guy's an absolute nutcase, weaving in and out of traffic. So there you go. So again, you see we do these live. There you go. So think about it, pick your audience, go and connect, make reference to your industry. When they connect and accept your connection, send them a thank you for connecting, offer to help without obligation, and send them a free resource, which is usually a blog article on LinkedIn, which is a LinkedIn Pulse article. You can then task it in your CRM and manage that through there. Day 13, day 34, send them more resources, and it's got to be zero sales pitch. You know, put your link into your calendar, you know, or ask them if you want to set up a call. You know, you might want to say, hey, I'm doing a group webinar if you want to jump on that. You know, maybe you're doing an event, you know, at a local sort of hotel or, you know, expo, something like that. So follow that through, invite them down, show them up from how, you know, value, and then, you know, give them a call, and you'll be surprised about how welcoming they are to speak to you. You'll get some good feedback on your articles. The worst case, yeah, I found that very valuable, or, you know, I weren't quite happy about that, that's not relevant anymore. So it's good market intel. And then obviously, you know, see if you can push some business their way as well by making referrals. You know, if you know somebody who wants a BMW or a Ford or a Renault or a Transit van, you know, push them to that dealer principal. You know, sure, they're going to pass it down to the sales team, but give them a referral back. You'll be surprised about, you know, how your connections grow. And of course, I mentioned right out of the gate here about reach, and, you know, the more people that go into your LinkedIn connections, you know, when you're putting your content online, and you're putting that out there, then, you know, more of that audience is going to see it. So this is probably somewhere in between a growth engine pit stop and a deep dive training. It's probably going to run about 13 or 14 minutes, this one. So apologies for the length, but I hope you've had some value on it. And as always, if you want to learn more about LinkedIn strategies, you can jump over to the YouTube Growth Engine channel. Watch the longer training where I do this on a whiteboard, and as always, you can shoot me a message. Just use the hashtag #TheOpenMic or hashtag Growth Engine, and we'll get that answered for you. And as always, get in the game, go do the hustle, go make it happen, and be awesome on LinkedIn.